Yeah. Pockets kinda tight, money leaving but ain't coming in. Picked the wrong door and the demons started running in. A lot of dark days, I'll get to see the sun again. I just wanna laugh, wanna smile and have fun again. I always been one of them brothers you can depend on. Winning with the wind in my sails and now the wind gone. Body breaking down, now I'm not much of a talker. My daughter started crying when she saw me on the walker. Cause I'm a Superman, you know the man of steel. Just to move around the house, I gotta pop a pill to take away the, cause I'm back again. I'm
like button, fool.
What's up, everybody? It's your guy T Swinton. Welcome to the library. Inside the library of the books, inside the books of the stories. My stories, story time with T. But today we got a special guest, Big T, the other T, my father. And today's story, Bought by Love. Man, as always, you gotta do a ceremonial sip. But as you know, man, I'm recovering from back surgery, so there's no drinking for me while I'm on recovery. But if you would like to sponsor our show, I love doing partnerships with teas. As you know, story time with T. So bring it on. But we're going to get into this story, man. And I guess my father, man, Mr. Tony Swinton Sr. Say out to the people.
Hello, people. How you doing today?
Yeah, this ain't his first time on camera, but this is his first time on a podcast.
Yep.
But, yeah, so we're going to get right to it, man. Tell us where you from, sir.
I'm from Houston, Texas, born and raised.
What part of Houston?
Fifth Ward, the bloody fifth.
Why they call it that?
Everybody pack guns and knives.
Man, how was it coming up in Fifth Ward?
Rough. You go to the stove, you had to run sometimes because they didn't have food stamps and stuff back in the days. You went there to get a job, peanut butter and jelly, and your own kin folks chase you down to get it. So you had to outrun them. And the streets was rocks. So I got my butt whooped a couple of times by my own cousin. But I broke loose and made it to the house.
Wow.
Yep.
It was tough like that.
Yep.
So man, what kind of living conditions did y'all have back then too?
We had good living conditions, man. My mother had a house, man. She bought a shotgun house before I was born and transformed into a nice house. Looked like something out of a magazine, man. Chandeliers and everything. But when she got these other two stepsons, they tore the house up, man. They were fighting all the time.
Yeah.
And they throwing bicycle rims at each other in the house. I said, man, what kind of mess is this? These brothers trying to kill each other. And they were like 13 years old. And it was hectic.
I mean, was there a father in the home?
Oh, yeah, he was a good man.
What's his name?
I was named after him, Tony. And he taught me a lot of things. Told me don't ever lie. Number one, I always look the white man in the eye and you go to court, tell the truth. Don't ever lie, because it get you in a worse situation than what you're already in. Mm-hmm. So I always tell the truth. So I live by that. And he said, don't take no shit off nobody. Even if you get your ass whooped, don't take no shit off nobody. Stand your ground. And I did that all my life. And I'm proud to be raised by that man. He died at an early age. I was probably about 9 when he died, but he left me a brand new 64 Chevy pickup truck. When he died, he told my mother, when I die, you get Tony the keys to that truck. It's paid for. I want him to have it. So when he died at the age of, I was 9, I had a brand new Chevy pickup truck. It wasn't used, it was brand new. He was the first owner.
Yeah.
And I missed that man. He taught me how to shoot. He gave me my own rifle when I was 4 years old. And I shot his friends. He bet two of his friends $20 a piece. He said, my son will shoot the matchsticks. Y'all can't. I bet you my son hit both of them matchsticks for $20. He told me, I'll never forget this. He said, I'll buy you all the candy. You hit both of them matchsticks, I'll buy you all the candy you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I hit both of them matchsticks. Some dudes had to pay him up to $20. $20 was a lot of money back in the 60s, you know. You didn't make no more than about $75 a week take home money, $80 back then. So he bought me all the candy I could eat. Sugar babies, Butterfingers, everything I wanted, payday. And I caught toothache that night. My mother called the closest dentist in Tomball.
Yeah.
And he said, ma'am, you sound like you're a Negro. She said, I am. Where's the patient? Is he Negro too? She said, yes, it's my son. I don't handle Negroes. He hung the phone up. So I had to go all night long, moaning and groaning with a bad toothache. The next morning, my mother took me into town, right there on Jensen. Right there by Jensen and Lyles to a dentist. It's no longer there. I don't think it's there. And they pulled that tooth, and I was out of pain. But I had good times when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
These times I'll never forget the love of my mother and my father that raised me. It can't be erased out of my mind. I never will forget them.
What was your mother's name?
Her name was Katy Estanola Ross before she married Fred Merritt. Then after Fred Merritt, Tony Swinton was Fred Merritt's best friend. So after Fred Merritt died, he come around there and check on my mom, help her with the cows and horses, because we had cows and horses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother was very well profitable in land and rent houses. And he started helping her with that, and they wound up getting married. They tried to have children. They had 3 stillborn children. And the doctor told her she couldn't have children, so she started adopting. The first child she got was me. And the way she came about me is that my mother I guess she didn't want me. All I know is I wound up in her hands, and she raised me. After I got a little older, I noticed my mother said, I'm finna go have a baby. Come on, go with me. We went to the bank downtown on Main. My mother went in there. My mother was a math teacher. I was pretty good with math myself. She went in the bank. She got 20 $100 bills. That's $2,000. She said, I'm finna go have my baby now. Back then, they didn't put your money in the envelopes they do now. They put it in a regular envelope, like you mail a letter. And the lady finna seal it. She said, no, don't seal it. So we jumped back in that 56 photo Ford Fairlane. We either went to 4th Ward or 3rd Ward.
Yeah.
And she had a picnic basket that opened up on each end. And
like Yogi and Boo Boo?
Yeah, it was one of those old baskets, you know. She got out the car and she put her purse up under the seat. She said, don't let nobody take my purse. I remember this like it was yesterday. And she grabbed that envelope with that $2,000 in it. And she walked up these steps to this house, and she came back after 30 minutes with this basket. And I said, Mama, you had a baby? She said, yeah, I had a baby. And we get down the road about 2-3 miles. All I hear is, wah, wah. I said, Mama, there's a baby back there in the basket.
Mm-hmm.
She said, yeah, I told you I had a baby. I said, Mama, but your stomach wasn't big. She slapped in the mouth.
How old was you at the time?
I probably was 7 years old. And we going down the road and we get to the house, and the baby had never opened his eyes. And she said, this is your little brother, Kerry. And I'm looking at him. He whining and crying, but he never opened his eyes. So they call that born with a veil over your face when your eyes are sealed together.
Yeah, your eyelids, yeah.
So after about 3 days of him never opening his eyes, she took him to this doctor down on Canal Street, because you couldn't go to white doctors back then. Race still had the black, white water fountain, all that stuff back in the day.
Yeah, segregation.
Yeah, so she took him over there, and she said, ma'am, I'm going to have to slit his eyelids so he won't be like that for the rest of his life. She said, but you have to hold him. I don't want to sedate him. So they tried to shut the door. I cracked the door. I'm looking. She got this sharp scalpel or whatever you call it, and she pulled his eyelids and cut them open. And she told my mother that raised me, you have to keep his eyes moist and open them up so they won't stick together and seal back together. So my mother would go to school. She was a school teacher, and I'd stay home with my little baby brother, Kerry, and keep that matter off his eyes and pull that off with a wet, warm water towel. No soap or nothing, just wet water. and open his eyes to where you could see his eyes, and till his eyelids healed up, and that's how he can see right now. Because other than that, he's been born like that, been like that for the rest of his life. Mm-hmm. So,
and happy birthday to Uncle Kerry, man. Yesterday was his birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah, he trying to catch up with me.
Now, at that time, when you witnessed your mother go in and come out with a baby, you knew exactly what was going on?
Oh, yeah. She paid for it. She took that envelope, that $2,000, and went in up them steps with that basket and came out there without that envelope in her hand. I knew the deal. Later on, as I got older in life, I was about 19 or 20, I said, Mama, you remember when we went and got Kerry? Me and you went to the bank. She said, yeah. I said, you got $2,000 at that bank. I said, I was young, but I could count. It was $2,100 bills. That's $2,000. She said, yeah. Why? What you saying? I said, did you buy Kerry? She said, yeah. I paid for Kerry just like I paid for you. I paid $2,000 for you too, from your real mother. I said, well, do you know where my real mother's at? She didn't want to tell me nothing about my real mother. I said, do I have any brothers or sisters? She never told me nothing about that either. So I lived like that for years. Later on down in life, I got a phone call one day.
How old was you when you got this call?
I was probably 15. And it was my sister Rena and Lena.
Yeah.
Hey, this your sisters. This Tony? I said, yeah, this Tony. We your sisters. I said, my sisters. You know, I ain't know nothing about my other side of the family, you know.
The other biological.
Yeah. Puzzled me, you know. And I guess my real mother was coming in the room or something. They hung the phone up. And they called me back about a few days later. And they was talking to me. And I remember that. And they hung the phone up again. So my sister Rena and Lena was sending letters to my mother that raised me. But I never got the letters. The letters was unopened and put in a shoebox. That reminded me of the color purple.
Yeah.
Or that letter getting sent, and what's his name was hiding in the floor.
Yeah.
And my cousin, we call her Hazel, she would take all these letters over there and give them to her. She'd say, when I pass away, you give these shoe boxes to Tony. So when she passed away about a week and something after she had been in the ground, my cousin Hazel called me and told me I got something to give you. So I come by there and I got these 2 shoe boxes stacked with letters and had phone numbers on it.
So when Grandma passed away?
Yeah.
How old was you then?
When she passed away, I was probably about 28, 30, something like that. Y'all was like 2 years old.
So when you was 15 and you got that phone call, was there any other communication reached out at the time? Did they ever try to reach out again between the age of 15 and 28?
No, nothing but 2 letters that I never got. They had the dates on the letters.
Yeah.
And I went through them letters, and it just brought tears to my eyes that I had other brothers and sisters, you know.
Yeah.
And it was just something that was devastating to my mind and my heart at the time. Because I didn't know why my mother got rid of me. But the one she got rid of, we turned out to be the best. We hard workers. We love our family. We treat them good. And we didn't turn out to be drug addicts or dope heads or alcoholics. We just stayed focused on work. I'm a workaholic right now. I'm 100% disabled. But I ain't scared of no work. Work might kill me, but sitting around the house ain't.
Yeah, so you was, man, did you feel deceived when you got that information? You was able to see those letters and how far they dated back?
Yeah, it kind of bothered me, but I couldn't, hate the woman that raised me because she loved me like I was her own child.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved her like she was my real mother. But I knew this when we went to kindergarten. The first day of school, everybody coming in, their mother bringing them in the kindergarten class. And my mother coming down, and everybody said, that's your big mama? That's your grandma? I said, no, that's my mama. She too old to be your mama. That's your big mama. That's your grandma. and looked at all the rest of these women. That's when back in the days when the hot pants were coming out, James Brown was kicking like fire.
Yeah.
And I looked at that and I looked at my mom, and they had a point right there. All the kids coming in, these young mamas. I got a mama that's getting gray-headed. She just started getting gray. And I got jumped by 7 dudes the first day in kindergarten. I come home with a tore-up shirt. My dad say, "What happened to you, boy?" I say, seven boys jumped on me at school. He whooped my ass. He whooped my ass. He was a barber. He had one of these big razor straps. So he put that razor strap, he whooped my ass. He said, "Tomorrow you go there, you whoop all 7 of them boys. If you come back here with a tore-up shirt, I'm going to beat your ass again." So the next day I went to school, kindergarten. I was scared. He said, "You wait your chance to get them. Where they start fighting you at it?" I said, "On the monkey bars in kindergarten." He said, "You wait till they get up on the monkey bar. You go up there and beat their ass one by one." And they coming down the monkey. I beat all 7 of them up. I came home. My dad was proud. He said, "You ain't got no toe shirt on you today, huh?" I said, "No, sir." He said, "What happened?" I said, "I beat all 7 of them boys up there like you said." He said, "Come on, we going to get some barbecue." Jumped in his old 55 or 56 Chevy pickup truck with a straight 6 in it. We went down there. We called it Mexican Town back then, because that was the only area Mexico was in. Was down there by the ship town and by close to downtown. They were living on the bridge and in tents and homemade plywood and stuff. So we went and got the barbecue. He said, "Boy, you did good. I'm proud of you." And he used to take me hunting at night, everything. I went, he said, "Come on, Tony," and he had one of my mother's nephews. He said, we called him Spook. He said, "Spook, come on, I want you to ride with me." He said, "This joker been on me." I think he owed him about $40, $60 for damn 3 months. And my daddy was off. My daddy was a foreman at the ship town. And he said, "Come on, Spook, I want you to ride with me. I want you to see what I do. When a sucker don't pay you your money, you're supposed to get your money." He got there, the dude come out the ship town gate, little spin gate. My daddy walked up to him. He said, "Where my money at?" I ain't got it, T. I ain't got it. My daddy pulled out a knife, put that knife about his throat. Hold on. Let me get it for you." And so he gave my daddy the $60 or whatever he owed him.
Yeah.
And my daddy said, "That's what you got to do to a sucker that don't want to pay your money." Oh, we're talking about I ain't got it.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot of stuff from my dad. And that happened to me one time when Hurricane Alicia came through. And me and my brother Joe, stepbrother Joe, we were riding around pulling cars out of floodwater, putting them where they need to be.
Yeah.
And this man say, "I live off I think that's a Griggs Road or something in the South Park area." So I pulled him way out there. He said, "How much you gonna charge?" I said, $25. So he lived upstairs in some apartments. We pulled him out there and pushed him and bagged his car up in the hole where he needed to be. He said, "I'll be right down with your money." He never did come down. So I had a 22 semi-automatic rifle, had a sawed-off shotgun, and had a bolt action shotgun.
Yeah.
So I got the bolt action shotgun shooting slugs. So I went up there and knocked on the door. Boom, 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 boom. I said, "Hey." They cut all the lights off. I hit on the door with the butt of the gun. Boom, boom, boom. Now open this door, I'm coming there and get my goddamn money. So he said, "Hold on, I'm gonna give you your money."
Yeah.
So I'm standing with they had a window right there by the door. So I'm watching the window and the door.
Yeah.
So he opened the door and he threw 20 out there in a 5. It rolled up. I got the money, walked down the stairs backwards with my gun pointed toward that window in the door. Got him a ride and tore ass.
Yeah. Now, it was other children adopted into this family too. So how many was it of y'all total?
It was 5 of us that was adopted. My mother said I was the first one. I was 2 years old when she adopted Albert and Joe. They were brothers.
Yeah.
And the way they came to be, their father was an offshore fisherman or seaman or something. he came home and to see his baby that his wife had. The baby looked just like the landlord that collect the rent.
Wow.
They were light-skinned with these light-colored eyes. And he get home, they uncover that baby jet black like charcoal. And he looked at the baby and realized that the baby looked like the rent man. So he goes downstairs with a butcher knife to kill the rent man. This is the story I was told.
Yeah.
He goes down there to kill the man. The man tried to hold the door. Their dad kicked the door in, but the man was studying holding the door. It had to be a good solid door. He was hollering for somebody to call the law. They called the police. By this time, he run back upstairs, cut his wife's throat, throw her out the upstairs window. This is the story I was told. And them kids wound up going to foster homes, and they was in Mississippi. They wound up in Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. And when she got them two boys, I was 2. She told me I was 2 years old. I was riding a bicycle. I was riding around the house on a bicycle. And Joe was 7 and Albert was 9. So she got them when I was 2 years old. And I'm riding a bicycle. And I said, Mama, who is this? She said, these your brothers. And I looked at them. I said, they too bright to be my brothers. They light-skinned, curly, wavy hair, principal style stuff with black folks.
Creole.
Yeah, they call it.
As they say.
Yeah. So I'm looking at them. One of them had a suitcase with a pair of pantyhose tied around it to keep it closed. And the other one had a suitcase with no handle on it. And they walked in the house. And I got off the bike, followed them in the house. She told me, this where y'all gonna sleep at. And this was way back in the day. The streets was rocks in Fifth Ward. Wasn't nothing paved. You could leave your doors open. Well, we had plenty of dogs, so we never did lock our doors in our house.
Yeah.
At one time, we had 22 dogs. You couldn't step in our yard. Them dogs would strip you down butt naked.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I came home when I was 16, about 11:30, and we had some German shepherds sleeping right there on the porch. And I sneaked in, I shut the gate real easy, and I tapped one of them dogs, and rah, rah, rah. One of them dogs tore my clothes off me. I had to run out of the gate and holler at them till they recognized who I was. They all woke up. Yeah. You got 22 dogs. You ain't got to worry about nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, buddy.
Now, as you got older, when was it you first came in contact with biological family? How did y'all find it? Were they looking for you, or were you looking for them?
Well, on one of those letters in that shoebox, they had a phone number. To my sister Rena. She had got married to her husband, Roosevelt Joseph Tyler. We call him Joe.
Man, you telling everybody's whole government name? Oh,
shoot. So I called that number, and the number was still the same. So she got a time. She said, "Who is this?" I said, "It's Tony." Tony who's Swinton? I said, "Yeah." And we got to talking. She told me, well, my mother had passed away. It just passed away, not too much longer than when I called her.
How old was you then?
Oh, I was about 30, 35, I think. 30, 35, something like that.
Yeah.
And I met my sister Lena. I met my sister Rose, and I met my brother Eugene. And when me and Eugene saw each other, we started walking around each other like we ready to fight because we look so much alike. We look like twins. And he said, "You look like me." I say, "No, you look like me." Y'all look like twins, you know. And I'm tripping out because the dude looked like I was looking in the mirror, you know.
Yeah.
And I had tears in my eyes, man. And older sister Lena, me and her born on the same day, February 27th. And I'm looking at her, I'm looking at my sister Rose. So I had everybody had tears in their eyes.
It was an emotional moment.
Yeah, man. After all them years, you wind up seeing your real family.
Was it like a feeling of relief?
Yeah, it was like a feeling of relief, and it was kind of stressful. But going that long without knowing them.
Yeah.
But it was a joyful time, a stressful time, and a painful time.
Hey everyone, she got T Swinton. Are you ready for a story that's all about love, perseverance, and self-discovery? If you haven't checked out Love for Suckers by Tony Swinton, here's why you need to grab a copy today. Available on Kindle.com. Dive into a digital copy. Start reading in seconds. Prefer a physical book? No worries. Head over to Amazon.com or MCABW.com and support a Black-owned business. Order your paperback copy. And for those who love listening on the go, Love for Suckers is also on Audible.com. Let the story come alive wherever you are. To all of you who've already dived into this fabulous story, thank you. Your support means everything. And if you loved it, why not share the joy? Drop a review on Kindle, Amazon.com, Audible, or MCABW.com. Ready to fall in love with reading again? Click the link in the description. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. Love is for Suckers. Available now.
Because we had tears in our eyes, you know. And then when I met my sister, Rena, she had the same effect, tears in her eyes. You look just like Blue. I said, yeah, he looked like me. I'm the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
He come after me.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, I met my brother James. And my brother Blue said, yeah, he the biggest one. You know him when you see him. He got a cowboy boot hanging on his face. That's what you talking about. He got a big-ass nose. So when I got to meet him, I looked at him, and he the oldest brother, and Carrie's the youngest. Out of them two, the oldest and the youngest got the biggest nose. So I guess both of them got cowboy boots hanging on their face.
That's a funny way of putting it.
Yeah, that's what my brother Blue said.
Now I got another question for you. Did you ever come across any of them in passing before you knew who they was?
No, your mom worked at for the city over there by Jeff Davis Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my mother and James and Blue and Rose was living. And your mom was telling me, there's a dude over here, Tony, look just like you. So you need to come over here. He look just like you. I was hollering, Tony. He looked at me and never responded. My name ain't Tony. So I come over there to pick her up from work. I said, where this dude been? He said, he come through here sometime. Like, look like he be going to the store, he had a bag in his hand. So I started trying to hang around there to see if I could see this dude that looked like me.
Mm-hmm.
Never saw him. Until years later.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the kids my mother kept. Me, James, and Carrie, she gave away her soul away, whoever you want to put it or take it. My sister Rena don't like to hear this because she don't want to believe it, but the truth is the truth. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but the truth is the truth. I was a little kid. I knew how to count money, Rena. I watched my mother go in that bank, get them $2,000 bills, $2,000, go there and take that envelope and come out with a baby. And later on, as I got grown, she told me she paid $2,000 for me too. So
as when you reached out to them and you had found out that your biological mother had recently passed right before you reaching out to them, did you feel bad? Did you feel bad about that?
Yeah, I really wanted to meet her, but I did meet her and didn't know that was her. This young friend of mine, he had a auntie over there in Third Ward that he used to go see.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember her name, started with M, Mabel, Martha, or something like that. He go over there and she always had a bunch of beer. He'd bring her a case of beer. And we go there and we sit up and drink. And one day we walked in, this certain lady I had never seen over there. She was there. And when I stepped through the door, the woman say, Louise, that boy look just like your other boy. Look at him. The woman took her glasses off and looked at me. They said, he looked just like your boy. And she started crying. Tears started rolling down her face.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering why this woman was crying.
Yeah.
And the women kept talking about, he looked just like your boy. He the spit image of that boy you got around the corner, Eugene. I didn't. And she put her glasses back on, but the tears kept continued to roll it down her face. She kept wiping her face. And after years went by, and I met my real family, my sister showed me a picture of my real mother. And I looked at that picture. I said, that woman that was crying over my buddy's at Annie's house, that was my mother. I did get a chance to see her before she passed away, but I didn't know that was her.
And what was her name?
Louise. At the time, it was Louise Baptiste. And I wish she had said something. We could have started a relationship right then.
Yeah.
Because I was looking for her and the rest of my brothers and sisters after the phone call and stuff.
Yeah.
But my sister Lena passed away. I met my real father. He came at me the wrong way.
How old was you when you met him?
I'm probably 35, 36, 37, something like that.
And how'd you find his whereabouts? Did they tell you where he was at?
No, he came to the funeral. My sister Rena told me about the funeral. I came to the funeral and he was there. That's when I first met him. I didn't know who he was, but he got up and spoke.
Yeah.
And when he started talking about, if there's anybody here that can help my son, Eugene, get a job, please give him a job because he needs a job. And when he said that, I said, this is my dad. When he said, my son, Eugene.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at him and he looked at me. And when we got to my sister Rena's house, he said, hey, boy, you know I'm your real pappy, don't you? I said, yeah, I know that. He said, I heard you drive big trucks like me. I said, no, you drive bobtails. I drive 18-wheelers. He said, how much you make with that truck every week? I said, from $5,000 to $7,500 take home money a week. Boy, let your pappy hold something. Ooh, that setup. That was a stick of dynamite with a short stem when he said that to me.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna ask me for something and you just meeting me for the first time? So I told him, man, you got me helped up. Well, hell, you gonna ask me for something? You need to be saying, hey, this is why I wasn't in your life. This is why your mama didn't have you and this and that. But he came at me the wrong way. He said, boy, she big arms on me. I'll knock your ass out. I said, you try that, old man. You can be laying on this concrete.
Yeah.
My sister come running out there. Tony, that's your real father. I said, I know who he is. James told me. Tony, that's your real father. I said, I know who he is. He came at me the wrong way. Don't y'all tell me shit. He came at me the wrong goddamn way. Don't nobody come at me like that.
Yeah.
So I stood my ground. So years later, me and my brother went to this, he had a little birthday party get together. He invited James over there. James said, you want to go to Dad's house? Well, when I got there, that man was so scared of me. Every time I walked by him, he would, like I was going to knock the hell out of him. Man, I said, happy birthday, Pop. That's all I told him. I didn't give him shit because he ain't never gave me shit.
How old was you when he passed away?
Ooh, shit. I was working at Cannonball. I had to be in my 45, 48, something like that. Probably
Wow.
around 50s, I don't know.
Wow.
But when I went to that funeral, I thought it was just me. Rose was the oldest, then James, me, Blue, then Kerry. I thought it was just us five by him. We got up in there, the preacher said, the pastor said, with all the offsprings of Lafayette D. Easton, please rise and let the congregation see his offspring. Man, about 18, 20 people stood up. And while we were saying that, before he said that, my brother James said, Tony, look at this dude over there on the third row look like you. I said, the dude up there on the first row look like you. I said, see that girl over there? She look like my daughter.
Oh, man.
And we were just looking at each other. And I was telling my wife, she was sitting beside me, and she started picking out people too. Look over there. And when we all stood up, man, it had to be about 20 of us. So I got some brothers that they might not be living now because they probably about 80 something years old.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a big surprise. Like I said, when I seen all them stand up, all I could think about was the Temptation Stone. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Because he was rolling.
Yeah.
He wasn't rolling in money, he was rolling in women.
So my question for you too is that You think your life turned out better being raised by the Swintons?
Oh, hell yeah. Shit. Man, I was around. I learned a lot of stuff young. I had my first gun at 4 years old. I'd shooting grown people. I started driving by myself at 7 years old. I ain't talking about a car pickup truck. I'm driving a big truck in the hayfield, 7 years old. I ride around horses. I used to ride wild horses back in the day. And I raised this bull up, a Brahma bull from a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to whistle for the horses to come. That bull would run up to me like he knew my whistle. He's a red Brahma bull. Oh, you feed him he's a breeding bull, so we fed him separate, make sure he ate good.
Yeah.
After he got getting close to goddamn 2,000 pounds, shit, I put a rope around him, hopped on his back because he was so tame. I hopped on his back. He looked at me, was chewing, he started bucking. He threw me off. I hit the ground on all four, and he run behind me, hit me in my ass, threw me back on his back. And I was on there like they showing them pictures where you have a dead man on there. I don't know, he was still bucking. I pushed myself off. He started chasing me around a tree. I'm running around this tree, and he was hitting that tree, just bam, bam. I said, I raised this bull from a baby, and it was like he was my best buddy, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But he turned on me when I got on his back.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I don't play that shit.
Yeah.
So I knew never to get on his back. But after that, me and that bull got cool. As long as I didn't get on his back. Then we had another bull.
Yeah.
He was a Black Angus. My mother paid $2,000 for him back in the 60s. And he was certified Black Angus.
Mm-hmm.
She had him for a breeding bull. My mother used to charge like $200, $300 to let people have that bull to breed their cows because he full-blooded with papers, huh?
Yeah.
So one day, I brought my wife, Marcella's family out there, everybody except Sheila. And I said, see you on the bull. I said, E-Time, come on in. I said, see you on the bull. I said, Gerald on the back. Gerald had some short pants on and some red cowboy boots. And Gerald got nervous. Tony, get me down. He got nervous, started pissing on the bull. So the bulls was eating out the trough, wasn't worried about nothing until Gerald started pissing on his back. And Gerald started pissing on, the bull stopped chewing. He turned around and looked at Gerald and see you. I said, get off. I said, see you. Run out that pen, make sure you shut that gate because he want to get at Gerald.
Mm-hmm.
He smelled that piss on Gerald. You know Gerald pissed on him. So they run out the gate.
Man.
The bull run up to the gate, but the gate was, see you shut the gate.
Mm-hmm.
So it was some good times going on. I used to take them kids out there.
Yeah.
I had a 30-30 Mossberg Winchester. I let them shoot the gun. Had 22 rifles, shotguns, let them shoot them guns. I took them, I got them out the hood, man.
Now I'm gonna ask you a question, Pop, man. Looking back at how you feel about Miss Katy and Mr. Swinton and their role in how do you feel about their role in your life today?
Oh, it was a big outcome in my life. That's why I was so good to my wife's family. They were coming up. I learned how to be a man before I was a man. Before I learned how to be a family man before I had my own family.
Yeah, that was my next question. How did it shape your approach to fatherhood?
So when I seen how they were living, they didn't go nowhere, they didn't do nothing. So I said, well, hey, y'all want to go to the skating ring? We start off at the skating ring. Then they never had no money. I said, I'm gonna pay for everything. Then their mother said one summer, she said, Tony, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't have any money to buy them school clothes or tablets or books, pencils or anything. I told her, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They're going to have everything they need when school time comes. So I had 2 rent houses back in the day. So I bought them rent houses when I was 18 years old. They was cheap way back then. Shotgun shacks over in Third Ward. $12,000 cash. So I got them. So I had extra money coming in. But that money was coming in off the rent house, it was going to the bank. So when I needed to help them kids out, I started taking $200 of that money in change. I'd go get pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters, $200 worth of change every week. I said, I want y'all to all get down on the floor. I'm gonna throw some change down here. So I did that every week. Sometimes in the month, it was 5 weeks in the month. So that's $1,000. So I did that. And I told everybody, if you're cheating, if you take the money from somebody else, you out.
Yeah.
So it was Gerald, Phaedra, and Timothy. They took all of Celia's money. She got up, ready to go upstairs, crying. And I said, see, you come back there. I hugged her. And I went in my pocket. I gave her two $20 bills. You ain't broke. Hey, he took my, no, you're not broke. Here, take this here. So.
Hey, Pastor, you could, another question for you. If you could say anything to your younger self about what happened, what would it be?
Don't do shit stupid. Back in the day, I was stupid.
I'm talking about your upbringing, the whole Bolt situation there and all that.
I didn't have no control over that. I just had to deal with it.
Yeah.
And live with it after I found out. So I still live with it.
Yeah.
So I don't really know none of my real cousins or aunties, uncles. They probably all dead now. I'm right at death old as I am. So all of them are dead. And all of my adopted cousins, they dead. They gone on. They grandkids, their kids and their grandkids are still here. But they gone. And the family I was raised up with, my mother's family, all those Rosses was wealthy. They worked their butt off. When you say the name Ross up in Huntsville, them were some hard-working people. They all worked hard. They all had something to show for life. And I miss being around them old people. They dead now and they gone. They all had fruit trees, pears, peaches, plums, pomegranate trees. One of my aunts, Aunt Alice, my adopted aunt, she had all these trees in her backyard. And we used to go and climb up in the tree, green plums with salt.
Mm-hmm.
Take a wet towel. We used to wipe the ash off of them, the dust from the rain. We up in the tree. Here go a copperhead snake in the tree. We jumped out the tree like crazy. Me and my old cousin Willie. We never got back in another plum tree or apple tree.
Yeah.
Or fig tree.
Sure. Yeah. What I remember about grandma, we used to live in this, she had her own apartment complex, right?
Yep.
And we lived right behind her house. It was like right behind her house. And inside her house, she had a refrigerator for just me and my twin brother.
Yep.
Full of popsicles, ice cream, candy. We had our own refrigerator at our house. Yeah. Man, we had it made, man.
When she built them apartments, they was I think they had called her fire. She got that property. She was real smart with the land. The taxes on that land hadn't been paid in years, so she paid the taxes on it. And when the heirs to that property found out that they tried to get it, and the land lawyer she had said that they had to come up with all the repairs and every penny she spent on that and pay her back for every amount of money she paid on taxes. They couldn't do it. So she got awarded that property. She bought a lot of property like that. She was very well smart, educated in getting property. And that's why she turned me on to the 2 rent houses in 3rd Ward. Because all my buddies were buying brand new cars. She said, Tony, how much is Kenneth Clark paying for that car? I said, about $550. How much is Kenneth John paying for that pretty red car he got? $750. How much is Don Clark paying for that new car? I say about $450. She said, you can go get you a new car if you want to and be paying a house note. It's 2 rent houses across my property in 3rd Ward.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going for cheap. I said, rent houses? I wasn't thinking about no rent house at 18.
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, you got enough money saved up, let's go check them out. I went over there and looked at them. I said, yeah, boy. I started smiling. I said, yeah. She said, well, these rent houses will pay for your new car. So I got the rent houses at 18. And she was right. Them $100 paid for me get a new ride, and it wouldn't hurt my pockets.
Exactly.
So I could keep on putting that. That's how I was putting that $200 down on the floor every day, every week, every Friday.
Yeah.
And taking them kids to skate ring, bowling alley, to the drive-in movies, and buying them school clothes and books and tablets. And I know everybody trying to figure out, how is this joker doing this here, throwing $200 on the floor every week?
Mm-hmm.
And I was working at a $5 hour job. $5 hour job.
Hey, Pop, I appreciate you, and I love you, and I appreciate you coming on here telling your story on Storytime with T. And I appreciate you, man.
Yep, I tell everybody, everything is possible through God. Everything is possible through God. Pray to God before you get in the situation where you need to pray. I pray before I need that to pray. I done seen people get shot, and they told me they never believed in God. I don't believe in God. I done seen people get shot. First thing they hollering out, Lord Jesus, don't let me die. Don't let me. And they stop breathing. I done seen a lot of people die like that, begging for God to help them. So talk to God before you need to beg. If begging is too late. When it happens, it's too late. Talk to God every day before you need him.
Yeah, man. I'd like to make a shout out to the sponsors of the show. The Men Can't Always Be Wrong podcast show with my boy JB. The King Star of the Day with my boy David, King David. Man, the amazing, the one. Mr. Clay with Wind Down Wednesdays. The True Sessions on Saturdays, man. Make sure y'all tune in to each one of them shows. The amazing podcasters over at CTR Media Network, man. And everybody supporting the show, Storytime with T. Man, I appreciate y'all hanging with us and listening to the story, man, from my pops. Make sure, man, y'all leave some comments, man. If you got a similar story, man, let us know your story in the comments, man. Let us know what you thought about this episode. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. It's your guy, T Swin. This has been Storytime with T, with Big T, on Pops. Man, make sure y'all go get my book, man. Loads for Suckers is available right now. It's on Audible, it's on Amazon, it's on Kindle, man. Go get it. And, man, make sure you head over to mcabw.com, get you some merch. It's your guy, T Swin, and we out.
Life lessons learned, I wish I would've known better. To keep it real, my heart was cold, wrapped it in a sweater. Had no cheddar, so I was lost, yeah, I kept her fruit and debtors. Go get her, call myself a boss, climb the fruit level, fell out, spirit to dirt. I need a fruit shovel, sell out, spirit to hurt. I wrote a fruit letters, no response from the jump. The hate was more than evident, your major point of pen without the ink is so irrelevant. Intelligence, influenced by the ones I knew with habits and development. But I can lose it all, staring through a vent. Mama make it make sense, why daddy ain't been home.
Watching every move I make, every step I take, every time I feel I'm about to win, I make a new mistake.
The man upstairs, he got big plans. The money singing to me, I'm a big fan. Chasing money, can't run with you. High and body, I'm done with you. Arrowhead straight to the point. It's like I be having bad day after bad day, and some be going good, but they be ending in a bad way.
Hey, it's me again, your guy T Swin with Storytime with T. You can listen to Storytime with T on Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Overcast, Pocket Cast. Support the show. Listen on the go anywhere while you work out at the job. It's your guy T Swin, Storytime with T. Check it out, y'all. Support. Peace.